Okay, folks, we are talking that boxing right here on the RRT Boxing Show. You hear the sirens? Yep, it's going off. Let the boxing junkies come on in, because that's what it means. The doors are open right here on the Boxing Rehab, known as the RRT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Thank your ass for bringing your junky ass on in. Now we're going to talk a few topics today. We're going to start off the show with probably the hot topic of Luiz Ortiz, that old fumbling of the ball. Me, myself, part of me, I don't know, maybe you could say a hater. I'm kind of glad this happened. I'm very glad it happened. All that shit talking. He got his title shot with Deontay Wilder, fair and square. The fight went down. He got knocked out, and here he is talking all this shit. How he's, and everyone's giving him his credit. He is one of the high threatened heavyweights. He deserves this. He deserves that. He's talking the shit. Come fight me. And then this fumble. Now it's the manager's coming out saying they didn't know what the promoter was turning down. Then what type of manager are you? The promoter job is to get the fights, promote the fighter, promote the fight. The manager is the one who makes sure the money and everything's right. At least that's what I would think. I don't think it's up to the promoter to manage his money. I don't see that part. Maybe you guys could let me know. If it's a manager / promoter all in one, but it doesn't sound like that's how it is on this one. The manager, how did the manager not know that the promoter was turning down the money? So he just basically said, you know what? As a manager, I'm not going to do my job. I'm going to allow you to run this completely. That just seems like a poor shit manager right there. How can Team Ortiz not know? I just don't get it. Why is there even negotiations in this fight? Why? I'm a fill-in. Cool. Give me exactly what Gerald Miller got. Fight's done. What else do you need to? What more are you asking for? You're not in line for this fight. I'm not talking that. I'm not talking the past and WBA and Luiz Ortiz and he's signing with her. Fuck it. We're not talking that shit. You're not in line for the fight. You have no near future of seeing fighting Joshua. Boom. If you want to fight Joshua, we need a replacement. Cool. Just give me the same. Give me the same deal fucking Miller got. You might get a pinch more. All right. Like I said, just a big ass fumble, and I'm glad it happened. As a fan, I'm pissed. Like that would have been a good ass fight. But all these fucking fighters talking shit on each other. Oh, I deserve this. I deserve that. Then the opportunity comes, and my team fucked it up. Man, watch your own career. Your team is there to help you make the right decisions, not make all the decisions for you. And I feel Luiz Ortiz fucked the shit up. Now, it sucks with the rumors of, that Eddie Hearn has heard that he's getting his Wilder rematch, and then, like, really? It's totally not. The fight is good, but you getting a Wilder rematch for fucking blowing a Joshua fight? I don't know. Just dumbass management. I'm glad it happened. I'm really glad they fucking blew that call. It's just a shit show. It's a shit show. Like I said, the fight itself, I really wanted to see, just like you did, just like all the boxing junkies. There's not one boxing junkie who didn't want the fix of Luiz Ortiz versus Anthony Joshua. Fucking the rehab center would have been full of junkies for that. Full of junkies. But now we got some dumb shit claiming he didn't know what was happening. Not only was the fighter claiming he didn't know what was happening, the manager who's supposed to help the fighter's finances, he didn't know what was happening. Only the promoter was trying to get a bigger cut, asking for more money. Yeah, sure. Now, topic number 2. The a lot of talks. If you've been paying attention to little interviews here and there, there's been a certain two fighters been a little vocal about fighting each other, and I did a Mr. A's thoughts about this, about Leo Santa Cruz wanting to fight Gary Russell and Tank Davis. Now, also, we have Gary Russell saying he wants to fight Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis. Is it no coincidence? Now, I get it before how the fight never happened. Sucks. I'm a big ass Leo Santa Cruz fan. I don't I don't know why he didn't take the fight. Pretty sure same reason why uh, Spence and Thurman ain't happening. Al Heyman is saving it for a bigger money day. Now, as much as we as fans and boxing junkies wanted to see that fight 3 years ago, did that fight not get bigger? You could say no, but it's bigger than whatever money Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell would have made 3 years ago fighting. Right now, Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell makes more money for both of them, for PBC, for anyone. The network that they're on. So in building this fight up with basically not doing anything, it's better for the fighters. I hate to talk about business aspects as a fan, but as if you're a boxing fan, eventually you have to talk about the business side. It just you can't have a boxing conversation about any fighter, any weight class, without bringing in networks, businesses, money. And right now, Gary Russell Jr. and Leo Santa Cruz are set to make more money fighting now than they would have fought 3 years ago. And that's the main reason I think. And Gary Russell Jr. he's very vocal about it. He's now he's bringing in Al Heyman. Like, I don't think Al Heyman wants me to fight him. He's saying Leo Santa Cruz team and he's scared. They know I beat him. But now I'm starting to think Al Heyman don't want me to fight him. So that's that. If what I'm saying is completely wrong about Al Heyman building it up for them, like, hey, you guys want to fight? Like, I'm pretty sure he was telling Leo, like, hey, fight him later, you get more money. I help you. Excuse me. I help you get more money. Now, and then you have Gary Russell saying, hey, Al Heyman never broke a promise to me. Everything he said, he's done. I asked for this, he told me he'd do that. Al Heyman fulfilled every promise he did to me. Now, who are we to say, like, hey, Al Heyman said, like, hey, you guys need to, like, you guys go quiet it down, and you guys will fight, but I'm going to try and make it more money for you guys. Just hold on. And Gary Russell, he's been fighting once a year, no problem. Leo Santa Cruz, having some softballs here and there during that time. I believe it was Al Heyman who said, don't fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. And they said, like, hey, Leo Santa Cruz, like, yeah, Al Heyman told me don't fight him. It won't do nothing for my career, as in money wise. It would have been a good ass fight for us fans if everyone thought Guillermo Rigondeaux would have just fucking sparked and knocked Leo Santa Cruz out, considering his style of coming forward. He would have just been countered. But what if he would have beat Guillermo Rigondeaux? Would that have really done anything for Leo Santa Cruz? Really? Right now, if he would have beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, it would have been a nice little rumble in the boxing world. But me personally, I think that rumble would have went out. But okay, he beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, and I just don't think, outside of a small niche of hardcore boxing junkies, boxing, I don't even think the boxing media would have carried that victory long. I don't think. Just for the fact that Guillermo Rigondeaux's style gets hated on so much, I think eventually that loss, or that victory would have lost his meat. But I do think this fight is happening. I do think Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. is happening. I believe this is their way of slowly getting us to start mentioning it again. And it's no coincidence that both these fighters are talking about moving up and fighting Tank. Do you not think it's a winner moves up, gets a money bag with Tank? It's very, very awkward and very, very coincidental that two fighters who were supposed to fight 3 years ago are now mentioning about fighting each other and then want to fight Tank Davis. Were they told something? Were they had a conversation with Al Heyman that was very not leaked? Me myself, I think both of them beats Tank. I do. I think Leo Santa Cruz will have a harder time with Tank just because he gets hit unnecessarily. I think Gary Russell just washes the floor with Tank. But I do think that fight is happening. I think it's now Al Heyman he said it. He let it build up for his investments, his advisees. He let the money build up. Like, hey, I built it up for you guys. You guys can now fight. This is the best I can do for you. The fight ain't gonna build up no more than what it is, unless these two really start becoming active, shit talking, and fighting a lot before they fight each other. But that's just not in the personality of either of them. Gary Russell will talk his calm smack, but he'd disappear for a while. Fucking Leo Santa Cruz, he talks, but very humbly and peacefully. He don't talk too much. He don't talk too much shit. So in the winner, like I said, they're gonna get Tank. So I think that's a nice little money bag for the PBC side, because considering the way the grounds are shaping, ESPN's trying to do their thing, the zone's trying to do their thing, it is now that PBC needs marquee matchups, especially with, because like I said, there's hot fights that's like that the zone fight with Roman and Donnie, hot ass fucking fight. The boxing world, the networks are lucky that the zone don't have the subscribers quite yet, because there hasn't been a quite hot ESPN fight to me to match that Dahoney and Roman fight. Spence and Garcia sure wasn't as that, To me, I don't think the Spence and Garcia fight was all that good. Everyone's like, oh, is it boxing clinic? I just saw Spence be more active to a smaller guy who he knew wasn't going to return anything to hurt him, at the regular welterweights. Say what you want to say about him, but, Spence probably respected their power a lot higher than he respected Garcia, so it was a bullshit fight, we just watched it we got talked into watching that shit. So as far as the PBC making it, they need to start piling on good fights without always being a pay-per-view. Now, Garasu and Leo, that's a hot Showtime headliner, incredible Fox headliner. So I see PBC starting to match or make some of the fights that we always wanted. And also coming up in the May, we know is Canelo May 4th. That's we know that. But also about Canelo, you got to remember this is going to be his third fight on the zone. No, his second fight on the zone. So that leaves him with 9 more fights after this. Who the fuck is he gonna fight, right? You figure Fielding. Like I did an earlier video on this way back in the day, comparing how Golden Boy and the zone and PBC, how they, he don't need Jamal Charlo at all for these fights, but just given that he does, he fights Jamal Charlo, Triple G, Jacobs, David Lemieux, Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders. That's only 7 fighters. He still needs fucking 4 more. Who the fuck is he gonna fight? So coming up on May 2nd is you can throw Jaime Munguia in there. He still needs more fighters. Like I said on my video back in the day, I said like I threw in Jason Quigley because he was a Golden Boy fighter. Like that, they're gonna need fillers. You know, at one point they were building up I can't think of his name right now. The Irish dude with the mustache. You know, they were building him up, but fucking Lemieux sparked him out. So coming up on May 2nd is possible Canelo fillers. Canelo fillers. You know, Golden Boy went up to our northern brothers in Canada and signed Stephen Butler. You know, he's a 160 guy, and he's fighting this Thursday. So I believe it's one of those Facebook's card, which kind of sucks. Cause I always have a hard time finding that shit. Even though it's probably easy as fuck. I just, you know, I always fuck around, can't find those fights. And Stephen Butler, and also on that card is Yamaguchi Fako, the Brazilian. Now, given the rankings, and besides that, both these guys are fighting for belts. And if you're on the RRT Boxing Show, you know we talk about belts and the rankings. You know, our lingo is the best fight the best. That's number 1 through 15. That's what that slogan, that line, the best fight the best, means on this show. Number 1 through 15 are fighting each other to get that title shot at the champion. You know, champion's not included in best versus the best. He's already a champion. We hold a champion to a higher level. Now, Flaco, he's fighting for the WBC Latino middleweight champion. Butler, he's fighting for the WBC International middleweight champion. Now, if you are into belts and you watch them and you see them, most belt collectors who climb the ladder, they climb and they collect all the belts until they get the Intercontinental. The Intercontinental is the belt you usually get before you fight the world champion. And again, I know I say this a lot of times, but just in case there is some new junkies in the building and they're kind of lost on what the Intercontinentals and the Internationals and why do they even fucking matter, we're boxing junkies, and on the RRT Boxing Show we talk it. So here it is. The belt that obviously I'm pretty sure the WBC Latino middleweight champion kind of describes itself. It's the countries, and I know there's a lot of times where a non-Spanish guy fights for the Latino, but it's a region of Spanish-speaking countries. Now, as far as, like I said, once in a while there is a guy who doesn't speak Spanish in a home region country fighting for that belt, but for the most part, you kind of, it's those countries in that region. So that's why once in a while a countryman does slip in there, because his country is still in that 13 country region, just not a heavy Spanish speaking one. Now, as far as the WBC International, now the national and the international and the continental and the intercontinental, the word inter, that gives the fighter the opportunity to cross a border. Now, obviously, national means, okay, in Europe, or I could say in the States, for instance, in national, the States side, if he's a national champion, he could fight in, but over here, they usually get just the USABA belt, you know, they don't have the internationals and all that, they usually just get the NABF, the NABO, and then they fight throughout the states. Now, as far as the countries, those nationals and inters and all that, the nationals, of course, you go in Europe, you go in Asia, you go in fucking Africa. National, you could fight on that continent, and you could fight. You fight. Now, the international, you're the international. I mean, on Africa, you can cross dry land, but over water. It's where, like, it's weird how they have it. If there's like a river or a lake, you can cross it. But if it's an intercontinental, you can go overseas. Like I said, in Europe, international. Guy talks loud as fuck. Right? He talks loud as fuck. The international, basically, you could cross a dry land border as well. So if you're in Europe, you could go to Asia. You could cross dry land borders. Intercontinental, you can go from Europe to Australia. Inter means you can cross water. The continentals, you just go from one continent to the next on a dry border. and national, with all the countries on the continent, you got to defend. So if you got lost, I'm pretty sure I'll explain it on another video in the future. Anytime a fighter fights for one of these belts, I kind of give a quick rundown. So that's what Stephen Butler's fighting for. He's fighting for the international. Now remember, he's in Canada, so he doesn't need the continental. He can kind of just cross a dry. He could cross that dry land one, even though it's because it's part of North America. You know, it's Canada is not its own continent. It's part of North America. So the international, he's allowed to just cross that dry borderland and bow. He has a shot at Canelo. Now, if he was, like I said, if he was in Ireland, Stephen Butler, he would need the Intercontinental to come to America and fight Canelo. So they're already building the blocks for Stephen Butler to possibly earn himself a title shot at Canelo. And same thing with Flacco getting this WBC Latino. They're pushing him up the rankings, and that's what we're going to go talk to right now. We're going to look exactly where are these fighters, and like I said, they need Golden Boy. Like I said, if you want to throw all the hot names at Canelo and he fights them all, he does fucking beast mode and just runs through every hot name you could think of. They still need about 4 to 3 more names that, like, who the fuck is he gonna fight? So in the WBC, you got Flacco at number 9, and then you got Butler at 11. So they're climbing that ranking up. And another one at, I believe, the 168 was supposed to be Lemieux versus Ryder, but Lemieux got hurt, and in comes another Golden Boy signing. They've been signing him. He's been with Golden Boy a while. They've been building him on undercards, but he just might get a Canelo shot sooner than later. Just because they need a spot. Get a fight by default. The young Australian Bilal Akawa. He's feeling that he's number 5 on the WBA, which is a regular Canelo belt, but it's a spot. It's a spot. Now they're saying that becomes the mandatory for Callum Smith, but if Golden Boy wants a spot and they're gonna pay, if you're Akawa and his team, who you gonna fight, Smith or Canelo? That's when that money check comes in. So it's gonna be real interesting to see the path of those 3 fighters. Like I said, Golden Boy just signed Butler. They signed 3 Canadians. I forgot the other one, but I know it was Butler. And then, to me, the best signing in the pack was Yevis Ulis. I probably pronounced his name wrong. But the 140 guy. Let me look exactly. Where is that? And he's number 6 by the WBC. Number 8 by the IBF, number 8 by the WBO. That was, to me, the best signing. But in doing so, they also got Stephen Butler, who's, like I said, who could be a nice filler for Canelo. And probably Canelo looked great knocking his ass out too. He's only 23 years old. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting from here on out to see, like I said, because within 2 days, 3 fillers with three possible fillers for Canelo fight, and it's only going to move them up the rankings. If they win, they're all going to get belts, some type of belts, and get that much closer to Canelo. So definitely interesting to see where that goes. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is the Anthony Joshua filler. Who is going to be his replacement? Obviously, we talked about Luiz Ortiz fucking that all up for himself. Now, the hot names everyone seems to be attracted to is Andy Ruiz. Everyone all of a sudden just became in love with Andy Ruiz. Right here on the RRT Boxing Show, the boxing rehab known as the Ready Talk Boxing Show. I did the show, Luiz Ortiz or Fighter X for Anthony Joshua. If you haven't checked it out, please go ahead and check that out. If you're a new viewer, walk around the halls. If you have, like I said, I would love for your subscription. I would love you to become a boxing junkie and stay within the rehab center with all your friends and all your fellow boxing junkies. But I don't want to force you, so stay around here, see what you like. If you feel comfortable in this rehab center, come on, join your family, subscribe. But I listed who I thought that I should get that fight. And now, then comes the two names being thrown out there right now are Hunter and Ruiz. Hunter and Ruiz. Now, in the WBA, we're gonna go. How are those two fighters ranked up against Anthony Joshua? You got the WBO, which is the last belt Ruiz fought for against Parker. Ruiz is not even ranked. It's Hunter. Michael Hunter is not ranked. You got the IBF. You got Hunter at number 10. And you got Ruiz at 15. The WBA. You got Hunter at 12 and Ruiz at 11. Now, how is Ruiz getting these spots is completely just mind-baffling to me. It's fucking mind-baffling. Like, he take away that fight he just did against Dimitrenko. And who the fuck is Dimitrenko? We know who he is, but what the fuck has he done, right? So you figure we're going to see what Michael Hunter has done. At 16-11, one loss, we all know that's a Usyk. We know that. So we figure at 6'2", a 79-inch reach, the bounty, who's already training, he's fighting May 25th, a week before Joshua. So he's in the ring, he's ready to go. I mean, he's in the gym, he's ready to go. That'd be a good understanding. Like, okay, this guy is not sitting on the couch. He's ready to fight. He's ready to kick some ass. He's the height of Joshua. He's 79, so he's gonna give up about a 2.5 inches in reach. But since his loss to Usyk, he did his warm-up fights into heavyweight. Like Andre Ward did his warm-up fights into light heavyweight. He fought Terrell Woods, we don't know, but then he fought a pretty recognizable name in Igor Kaladzdi, for a nice body feeling fight. Okay, how am I reacting to the heavyweights now? And then he fought Bakoli, and that was like, he came out and he showcased right there. Okay, like, oh shit, got some attention right there. He became the IBO champion. Not only did he become the IBO champion, he became the IBO Intercontinental champion. So yeah, he's not the full IBO heavyweight champion, but he's an IBO Intercontinental minion. And we just went over what Intercontinental is. That dude could travel all around the world and defend that belt. So after he defeated Bakoli, he went and defeated Alexander Ustinov. A little long in the tooth, but a well-known name. A well-known name, a credible name, and he knocked both those opponents out deep in championship rounds. A 10th round, final round knockout of Bakoli, which he kind of really dominated that second half of that fight, if not the whole fight. Bakoli had his moments, but I think if you've seen the fight, and you could pretty much say Hunter was doing his thing. Ustinov, he was doing his thing. And he became the WBA International Champion. So this dude has two belts, the International and the Intercontinental. So he is set to travel all around the world to get a fight. He's ready to go. And then we go about the other name, Andy Ruiz. I just don't get how people are so glued on to this dude saying, yeah, give him the Anthony Joshua fight. I get it. It's the American background. I get that. But you got to factor in, the Zone don't got that many subscriptions right now. They're not they're the ball's rolling. But Andy Ruiz is not going to bring you 100+ more subscriptions than Michael Hunter. He's not going to bring you 50 more subscriptions than Dylan White. You know, I don't see American fans just flocking over the zone more than they would for Dylan White. I don't see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my analytics are all fucked up. But let's see what Andy Ruiz is. 32-1, 21 knockouts. Now we know his one loss was that title fight against Joseph Parker, where it could have went anywhere. Anyway, now he's 6'2", the same height. They have him. He can't be the same height as Joshua. Ooh. Joshua, I believe, what, 6'6"? Boxrec has Joshua at 6'6". Okay, so Hunter and Ruiz are going to give up 4 inches in height. But like I said, Hunter is probably about 4 inches, and then maybe like 2.5, 3 inches in reach. And then we go to Andy Ruiz, who again, he's going to give up 4 inches in height. But he's going to give up 74. He's a 74-inch reach, folks, against an 82-inch reach. So you have a mobile fighter who's given us a track record of a pretty good competition for Usyk. Lost that fight in probably the last 3 rounds. He gassed out. He beat Bakoli, beat Ustav, and then we have Ruiz. Since the Joseph Parker loss, he took all of 17 off. Took all of 2017 off. Came back for a nice tune-up against Devin Vargas. Don't know, tune-up. And then he fights Kevin Johnson. Yes, the survival expert Kevin Johnson. Goes all 10 rounds and, like anyone, gets a unanimous decision on Kevin Johnson. And then he fights Alexander Demetrenko. And now people are saying, give him the Joshua fight. Get the fuck out of here. Vargas, Johnson, Demetrenko, Bakoli, Ustinov. Who done more to deserve? They're both American. You know, America. Now, America. You're gonna say, yeah, America know Ruiz, and if that's your selling point, America knows him. Oh shit. Okay. Then don't say nothing when Anthony Joshua beats the shit out of a little short arm Ruiz. Do you really think Andy Ruiz is going to be able to just to fucking get inside and dominate Anthony Joshua? Half of you people were saying that Gerald Miller was going to get knocked the fuck out trying to get inside. Now, how the hell is Andy? Oh, he throws more punches. Come on now. Come on, I don't want to. He throws more punches. Just means more opportunity for a sharp box like Anthony Joshua to counter his ass. That's all that means. Joshua's going to fucking counter him with that uppercut. You know. Gerald Miller was 6'4" and a 70-inch reach. So he was 2 inches taller than Ruiz and a longer reach, and no one thought he was going to do anything on the inside against Anthony Joshua. But now Andy Ruiz, a smaller guy with a smaller reach, supposed to do more than Big Baby Miller was given credit to be doing. I don't get it. I don't get, like I said, kudos if Andy Ruiz gets the rematch. Great. Go out there and do your best. I'm just saying, this is from we're talking boxing. This is the Ready Talk boxing show. We're boxing junkies. This is what we do. How in the fuck does Andy Ruiz deserves an Anthony Joshua fight after Devin Vargas, Kevin Johnson, Alexander Demetrenko, Bakoli, Ustinov, Johnson, Demetrenko? Like I say, if you're going to take in the factors of competition, that's a fucking no-brainer. Skill set. Andrew Ruiz got fast hands. You know, he's a little agile, but to me, Hunter poses the bigger and better threat to Joshua. He's mobile. He's shown more grit to me. At least he rose into the test. Like I said, yes, he lost Usyk, but he gave a better talked about effort against Usyk than what Ruiz gave to Parker, in my opinion. Because if Ruiz did such a good job, he would have won that belt. Yeah, it's a debate, but it's not a strong debate. It's like he could have won that. He could have won that. You know, so did Parker. You know, I just don't see why the public is so easily laid back with Ruiz getting this shot. The Double RT Boxing Show. Leave a comment down below. What do you feel? Do you believe Ruiz is a more entertaining fight, a threatening fight? Do you think he'll get the fight? He deserves the fight. Are you happy with Ruiz getting it, or would you prefer Hunter to get it? You think Hunter's the more threat to Joshua? The movement, the jab, the longer reach. I'm just saying, Gerald Miller got no credit by any of us that he was going to do anything in the inside. Except for me, I'm the, like I said, I get a lot of predictions wrong on here, but I had Gerald Miller winning that fight by gassing Joshua out and throwing punches. Wonder why. But how is Ruiz going to get inside when no one gave Miller any chance to do anything inside? What the fuck is Ruiz going to do? The Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A.